like this unenthusiastic hype man.
Okay, everybody, let's make some noise. Put your hands up. Or not. It's your call. Here we go now. Here we go.
Switch to Progressive today.
It is electric in here.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Does learning a language feel like this?
No habla español?
Hablo.
It's hablo?
Yes.
It's hablo.
When you learn a language, you want to actually use it. Babbel is designed with that goal in mind.
Since my husband is from Guatemala, I'll apply what I've learned in Babbel to our real-life situations.
The app is so easy to use and it's so practical. It helps you learn things that you will actually need.
Babbel, language for life, celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free at babbel.com. That's babbel.com. BABBEL.com.
It's the best way to ignore people you don't like when you head outside.
I'll say goodbye to you now.
Take us along. Yeah, if you've got your phone, you've got us. Listen on the iHeartRadio app. Just search 96.9 The Game.
The home of the Knights. WYGM Orlando. WJRR HD2 Cocoa Beach, Orlando.
Time to put the pedal to the floor. It's loud and live and local. Oh, time for open mic.
Happy Tuesday, everybody. We are loud, live, and local every morning, 6 to 9:30 a.m. right here on FM 96.9 The Game, AM 740, HD, high def radio 101.1-2. You can also listen on your phone by downloading that free iHeartRadio app. You can watch us on social media. Just go to YouTube, search for Open Mic Live Stream, and there we are live and in color. You'll see me wearing my 1992 SEC Championship game T-shirt. I am, of course, Mike Bianchi, the Bulldog sports columnist of the Orlando Sentinel. You'll see Adam Reardon, the deceptive intellect. I don't know what he's wearing because I don't have the stream pulled up just yet. Austin Pastolka, the Sultan of Sound. What do you have on, Pastolka?
Oh, I've got a classic Red Hot and Boom crew shirt today. Love it. Red Hot and Boom crew shirt today. And also, Mike, I'm making money. I'm making all kinds of money over on Facebook Marketplace, brother. I'm getting into the where you go around garage sales, picking up little dollar things and flipping them on Facebook Marketplace.
God.
Making that money. First sale yesterday.
What was it?
We got Gary V in the building.
That's right, brother.
What'd you sell?
So I bought a mug that said "Yes, Queen." I bought it for 50 cents.
YASS?
Yes, Queen. Bought it for 50 cents. Flipped it for $20.
Did you really?
Wow.
Yep, $10 plus shipping.
So you charge them the shipping?
Yeah, of course. I'm not paying for shipping.
Okay, all right.
Gosh, no.
So you made $10.
You made $10. I mean, yeah.
I mean, all 20 goes in my bank account. So.
Yeah, but then 10 of it comes back out so you can ship it. Okay.
I might be able to find a cheaper shipping, all right?
No, okay, so tell us what you profited on.
Probably like $13, $14.
Okay.
It's all about perspective.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean,
Kelly knows.
Well, you sound like Ping when he used to go to the casino. Hey, I won $1,600.
That's right.
Yeah. And he doesn't tell you how much he lost.
Yeah, Austin's like, it's all about perspective until it's time to fill out his taxes. And now, now this is making a lot of sense to me. Austin fills out his own taxes. He said, it doesn't mean he does it, and he told me that he had to pay this year.
I owe $94 to the U.S. government.
And I said, Austin, we work in the same industry. I've got a general idea what it is that you make. I know that your wife is a teacher. I was married to a woman who's a teacher, so I got a general idea of what they make. Together, there's no way you're paying at the end of the year unless you're like claiming 7 on your taxes. How are you paying? He's like, I don't know. That's just the way it works out. I did it right. I did the same thing H&R Block would do. And I'm going, no, I don't think so, bro. I don't think so. Hey, you know what it is? It's all about perspective. It's all about perspective. This guy just told us he made $20. He really made 12.
All right, we want to hear from you throughout the course of the show. 407-916-8255. You can call us. You can tweet us at 96.9 The Game. You can also text us on our Academy Sports and Outdoors text line. That's 50857. Our open mic early morning inspirational quote of the day from the great Robert Collier, who once said, and I quote, "You don't drown by falling in the water. You drown by staying there." End quote.
You make it sound like drowning's a choice.
Intellect?
Well, I would say
it's
that
deeper than that. It's deeper than just drowning.
It's got to be deeper if you're drowning.
You don't drown by falling in the water, which means, hey, listen, we're going to find ourselves with our head, underwater at times, okay? But the only way you're going to drown is if you accept that as your destination spot. If you kick and you paddle and you put all of your effort and your energies to get to the nearest shoreline, or you get to the wall of the pool,
the nearest buoy,
you can pull yourself from those waters and emerge, and then let the beads of water glisten all over your body.
Yeah. There he is. I'm swimming right over there. I'm swimming over there to Sam Bowie. There he is, standing tall in the water. I'm going to grab a hold of Sam Bowie.
Sam Bowie. And then afterwards, have a sip of Dram Bowie while you're at it.
There you
go. Very good translation by the deceptive intellect. The Magic tried to swim. The Magic wish they had Sam Bowie, in fact. Yeah. The Magic go down again last night to the LA Lakers, 114-103. They moved into sole possession of last place in the Eastern Conference. They now have the 3rd worst record in the league, only a half game ahead of the Timberwolves for the 2nd worst record in the league. Here's what it sounded like last night. Magic Lakers.
Cole Anthony for 3. Andrew Clifford's got 9. 4-point game again. Cole Anthony now defended by Alex Caruso. Okeke. Oh, he hammers it on top of Drummond. Chuma Okeke with the throwdown. Schroeder down the middle. 3-point shot out of the corner is good by Anthony Davis. It's his first 3 tonight. And it gives the Lakers a 12-point lead.
Yeah, I think we just took our foot off the gas. Got up to a big lead against a team that has been struggling. I felt like our guys got complacent. Both sides of the ball, we stopped defending. They made 10 of their first 11 shots, and we were putting them to the line. So, that can't happen. We're fortunate enough to dodge a bullet and get the game back under control.
That, of course, was Frank Vogel, former Magic coach, head coach of the Lakers. Best career move he ever made, getting fired, of course, by the Orlando Magic.
By the way, that loss puts Orlando in a position to draft the next Sam Bowie.
It does it?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just don't pass on Michael Jordan.
Who the hell is Sam Bowie?
Oh, God.
Sam Bowie. He was a big, tall, supposedly franchise player. Was he in this? He wasn't in the same draft as Jordan, was he?
It wasn't Sam Bowie the guy drafted in front of Michael Jordan.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, you're right. Kentucky center. He was like 7'2" or 7'3".
Was it Portland? Who took him? Portland? Somebody took Sam Bowie 1 or maybe it was 2, and then Jordan was like up next. It's like everybody likes to point to like all these teams passed on Tom Brady. Yeah, everybody did that. So they all point to each other and go like, yeah, you did too, me too. Only a couple teams passed on Michael Jordan. I think one team. Well, I think with the Houston Rockets ended up with like Hakeem Olajuwon or something like that.
Houston Rockets had Hakeem Olajuwon, and then Trailblazers chose Bowie. 3rd, Chicago Bulls picking Michael
How
Jordan.
tall was Sam Bowie? Does it say there?
7'1". 7'1".
Okay.
Wait, 235. 7'1", 235.
Yeah, he was literally and figuratively a big disappointment.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm waiting on Mike to troll Mark Daniels later. Like, oh man, the Magic lost, but did you see that dunk by Okiki?
That was unbelievable. Play that dunk again, by the way, right over Andre Drummond. Yeah, how'd that take?
Now defended by Alex Caruso. Okiki. Oh, he hammers it on top of Drummond. Yeah. Chuma Okiki with the throwdown.
Sounded like Wyman cracking his shin.
How did that taste? How did that taste, Mr. Drummond? Welcome to O-Town, my brother. Yeah. Wow.
See, excitement and a loss. See, exciting. Yes. Young talent.
The Magic did get some good news yesterday, however, besides that dunk. Devin Kennedy underwent surgery yesterday, but he did not actually break his ankle. There was no fracture in the ankle, even though the injury was originally diagnosed as an open fracture. Further evaluation revealed no bone breaks, so they had surgery. They cleaned up the cartilage, but the bones and everything remained intact. So Devin Kennedy does not have to, obviously the ankle was contorted in a way that made Mo Bamba want to cover it up with his jersey, but again, no bone breaks. So that's good news.
Absolutely.
That's good news for the Magic.
Just hearing him, like, as soon as it happened, he's just screaming in agony. We're just like, oh, no.
Oh, I thought about that yesterday, too, when you were playing the clip. I go, the one thing these, mostly empty arenas give you is the ability to hear things on the court that you don't normally hear. And then in regards to that injury.
Or hear that bone break in the UFC fight.
Actually, their place was packed.
That was in front of 20,000 people.
Yeah, 15 grand.
Were there 20? Really, that many?
I saw the press conference afterwards, and Dana White said it was like 15. It was a record for that auditorium there in Jacksonville.
That's where I used to go to the wrestling matches on Thursday night at the Jackson. Actually, that was the old.
Oh, you're right.
That was the old Jacksonville.
15,269.
You're telling me that Usman and Masvidal drew more than Dusty Rhodes against
Dusty
Blackjack
Rhodes.
Mulligan? Are you kidding me?
Incredible.
With Gordon Soley on the call?
That was the old. Well, Gordon Soley was not at the matches. He was on TV.
No, Gordon Soley was at the matches. Oh, he was calling the matches.
He was at the matches in Tampa, though, because he lived in Tampa. Always, I did a story on Gordon Soley one time, and one of my biggest regrets back when you used to have remember when we used to have automatic answering machines, these machines. One of my biggest regrets is I didn't have Gordon Soley record a message for me.
Oh, man.
I've told you the story that Gordon Soley was my soccer coach's father-in-law.
Oh, yeah, you did tell me that.
Yeah. We're sitting around I was spending the night at his house. His son was on the team, and then we were talking about wrestling, and then his wife says, "You know who my dad is?" And I go, "Who?" She says, "Gordon Soley." And I said, "What?" I said, "Every Saturday I'd get up and I'd watch. I'd watch Florida Championship Wrestling."
That's right.
Yeah, back when all the wrestlers were politically incorrect. Chief Wahoo McDaniel, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat,
the Sheik, the Iron
Sheik. Kamala the Butcher.
Iron Sheik, best follow on Twitter.
Yeah.
Go follow the Iron Sheik on Twitter. He's hysterical.
Anyway, Gordon Soley at the end of Championship Wrestling from Florida would always say, "This is Gordon Soley saying so long from the Sunshine State." Yeah, and I always wanted him to say that at the end of my answer, my message. This is Gordon Soley saying so long from the Sunshine State. All right, straight ahead, we have a spontaneous text question. Also, some college football news I want to get to as well. That's next on Open Mic.
Open Mic. We'll be back in a couple minutes.
I'm sorry. Extremely sorry.
Broadcasting live from the Anna Jar and Levine
clear the barrier. Over the yellow stripe, a 2-run shot for the A's catcher at a 2-1 Oakland lead.
Sean Murphy, 2-run homer for the A's as they beat my Rays 2-1 yesterday. 2-1. Are my Rays below 500 now? I think they are. I think my Rays are below 500.
They've
They've
a long
lost
season, though.
Yeah. Are they below 500?
I think they're right at 500, if I'm correct.
Yeah. So anyway, the Rays have now lost 6 of their last 7.
Oh, no, they're 11 and 12.
So they are below 500.
Yep.
I think that's the first time this year they are below 500. They've lost 6 of their last 7 home games. Here's a stat for you. The Rays are 5-1 against the Yankees and 6-11 against everybody else. 6-11 against everybody else. By the way, the crowd yesterday at the Trop was 2,981. That's about 7,000 below the COVID-19 capacity limit. So even during COVID, Rays fans don't show up. Yeah.
Dang it. Golly, man.
Yeah, there were less fans at the Rays game than watched the Oscars the other night. Good Lord.
Oh.
Did you see the ratings for the Oscars?
Atrocious. Yeah.
The Oscars ratings, a mere 9.85 million people. Dismal 1.9 rating among the 18 to 49 demographic. All right. The lowest Oscar ratings ever. In fact, it was 58% below what the previous low was last year. So, man.
I don't think that's fair, though, because we have
nobody went to the movies?
Yeah, because nobody went to the movies, so we have no frame of reference for any of these films. Not that, in years past I've known who...
Although Netflix was allowed to take part in the Oscars.
Oh.
So a lot of people watch Netflix, right?
Yeah.
Did Tiger King win anything?
I have no idea.
See, and that's my big issue with those things have gone to be the deceptive intellect. You'd think I would like the fact that the foreign film, wins too much of that stuff. No, I'm with Austin here. If Tiger King would have won Best Picture, I think more people would have wanted to tune in. I'm being serious.
No, you're probably right.
Yeah,
absolutely.
When's Fast and the Furious 8 going to win something?
How do we know that? Do we even know that Tiger King didn't win anything?
Tiger King 100% did not win anything.
I was going to say.
What are we talking about?
I'm Googling Tiger King awards.
How that didn't win Best Drama, I got no idea, because it's a true story. It automatically beats something some guy thought up in his head.
Are we doing game balls and goofballs today? Is that what we're doing?
We can.
Google Tiger King Academy Awards.
Apparently, Tiger King was snubbed, had 6 Emmy nominations last year. So Tiger King wouldn't be able to win anything
Emmys are like
year.
daytime television.
I
Not
think
daytime, just
it's
regular.
a series though. That's the thing. Tiger King wasn't like a one.
Oh, okay.
Have you not seen Tiger King?
I have, yeah, but I didn't know where it fell into classification. I thought with the fact that it was on Netflix, everything on Netflix goes on this. But apparently, I guess if it has more than one episode,
then
they consider it to be okay. All right, that
TV
makes sense now.
Becomes an Emmy.
All
right. Spontaneous text question of the day.
Spontaneous text question of the day.
Okay, we have 2 national days that we might be able to get a spontaneous text question out of. I like the first one, but since we are a sports show, the second one may be better. All right, so today is National Prime Rib Day, and prime rib is absolutely my favorite cut of meat. Meat or fish, seafood, doesn't matter. I love prime rib.
What the hell is a prime rib seafood cut?
No, he's just comparing it to any.
Like it doesn't. Like I consider like fish as meat. All right,
Gotcha.
so it doesn't matter if it's fish, beef, pork, whatever type of main entree you come up with. Yeah, prime rib is my absolute favorite, and They have the little odd juice little bowl there.
The what?
The odd juice. Shame
the
on
odd
you.
juice.
You're so silly.
Goodness.
He's doing that on purpose. There's no way.
Uncultured
The odd
swine.
juice. Yeah.
Listen, no, he's doing that on purpose. No way.
What? That's why. Yes, the odd juice. You got the odd juice right there. You mix a little horseradish in that odd juice. Oh.
Yeah,
and
right.
you dip that medium rare prime rib in the horseradishy odd juice.
I do not eat prime rib. I do not.
You don't eat prime
You don't
rib?
eat prime rib.
Nope. Don't like it. Don't like the.
Why?
I don't know why. Because I do like steak.
Yeah.
But I just there's something about prime rib I look at and I go, that doesn't look appealing to me. My fiance loves it. Loves prime rib. We go somewhere, they got prime rib, on the menu. That's what she wants. I'll go with the chicken. I'll take the chicken. Please.
I'll have the chicken fingers, please.
No. I did have an issue the other day where I wanted chicken, but I couldn't order chicken. There was a Jamaican food truck, and they did jerk chicken, and I said, "Well, is it on the bone?" And she said, "Yes." And I don't like chicken on the bone.
You child.
I am like that. Yeah.
Come on, where's Boosie? Where's Boosie?
Yeah.
Bro, come on now, dog.
Come on, dog.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
It's also National Babe Ruth Day, if you think we can get a spontaneous text question out of that. I'm thinking National Prime Rib Day, just your favorite cut of either your favorite type of meat, fish, whatever, you know, something like that. Like yesterday you were talking, Adam was talking about that black cod that he likes so much.
Miso black cod.
Yeah. I prefer the Chilean sea bass. That's my favorite cut of fish, by the way.
The Chilean.
Chileans. Yeah.
The Chilean, you ever dip that in your odd juice?
Quick thing for Babe Ruth Day. So, fun fact, Shohei Ohtani, he's the first pitcher since Babe Ruth to make a start pitching while leading the major leagues in home runs.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
How about this, Mike? For Babe Ruth Day, and in honor of what Austin has accomplished on Facebook, what's the greatest deal you've ever made?
Ooh,
because obviously,
dealing.
because the Yankees got
that.
Babe Ruth for basically nothing.
Yeah. Okay, let's do that one. Let's do that
one. The best deal you've ever made.
The best deal you've ever made.
May have bought a nice car on the cheap.
May have bought hey, you may have bought something at a garage sale
that
and
you
flipped
then flipped it.
You know,
for
I bought a painting one time, a painting at a Goodwill, and behind it was the Declaration of Independence. Turned out well for me.
Flip.
I bought when I was married my sister's aunt's husband. All right, well, he was a rich guy. All right, and he had all sorts of cars, and he had this this red Jaguar convertible.
Jaguar.
All right, nice. Yeah, and it was and it had a little oil leak in it. All right, just a tiny oil leak, but he didn't like it, staining his garage. So he said, "Hey, you guys want to buy this? I'll sell it to you for $2,500." And he sold me this Jaguars convertible for $2,500, and then that was a great deal. I could have flipped it probably for $15,000, $20,000 maybe. But you know what I did instead? This is where the deal went awry. I traded it for a boat.
Oh my God! Yeah. That went from best deal to worst deal in the history of deals.
Yeah, terrible deal. Yeah, and then the boat was like always fixing the boat, and they couldn't get it to run. It was terrible.
Then you gave some guy a great deal to get that boat out of your yard.
Absolutely.
I actually ended up giving the boat away.
There you go.
I sold the house and the boat was there. I said, "Hey, you want the boat too?"
Wow.
Listen, this home is not only furnished, but it's also has its own boat.
Comes with the boat.
Hey, Mike, speaking of
run in 2 years.
Speaking of really nice cars, I remember when I was a kid, I watched the movie Karate Kid. You remember when Mr. Miyagi makes Daniel's son clean all the cars?
Car he gives,
and then he gives him the car. My grandfather had an Alfa Romeo in his garage. I mean, and it was stock. It was beautiful. And I remember after watching that movie, I went to him. I was like, "Hey, you ever want me to wash that car for you?" Hoping, like in my mind, going, "I figure if I just wash this thing a few times, you know,
absolutely."
They hand me the keys to it when I turned 16.
All right, best deal you've ever made. Text in the 50857 in honor of National Babe Ruth Day. Up next, should Jaguars fans trust Urban Meyer to pull off arguably the most important draft in franchise history? That's next on Open Mic.
thinking he won't be there, because if he is, then what?
What do you say? Because I love this kid. We all got to think it through. I just love the energy, and I've done some homework on him too. You okay to set up a Zoom, me and you maybe just sit and chat with him a little bit?
You know, you got 5 picks in the top 65 of the draft. That means you should be getting 5 of the top 65 players in the country.
What was that? Was that Urban Meyer and Trent Baalke, the Jaguars GM? Kelly Velez?
Absolutely.
So that was Urban Meyer and Kelly Velez talking about the upcoming. Were they talking back and forth on a Zoom call? Is that what that was?
No, that was like a clip, like a pre-draft clip that the Jags put up on Twitter yesterday.
Oh, okay. Play it again real quick.
You can't go into the draft thinking he won't be there, because if he is, then what?
What do you say? Because I love this kid. We all got to think it through. I just love the energy, and I've done some homework on him too. You okay to set up a Zoom, me and you maybe just sit and chat with him a little bit?
You know, you got 5 picks in the top 65 of the draft. That means you should be getting 5 of the top 65 players in the country.
What do you think Urban's talking about?
I don't know. I don't know what they're talking about there.
A little Trevor Lawrence, maybe?
No.
He's not talking about Trevor Lawrence. He's talking about somebody else.
He's talking about somebody in the 3rd or 4th round. I've done some homework on that guy.
Said I know about him a little bit.
Yeah. All right.
As opposed to what's he going to say to the GM? I honestly haven't even looked into any of these guys. It was Trevor Lawrence, and I figured you'd sort the rest.
He's like, we have other draft picks?
The Jaguars have 5. You just heard Trent Baalke. They have 5 of the top 65 draft picks coming up in Thursday's draft. Actually, this weekend's draft that starts on Thursday. I was on Kravitz's show yesterday in the Zone, and he was asking me, hey, do you think Urban Meyer is going to be like Nick Saban when Nick Saban coached in the NFL and just take total control of the draft and thinking he's the smartest guy in the room, even though he's never coached in the NFL before? And I said, absolutely not. I don't think Urban Meyer is going to be anything like Nick Saban. Adam, I want to get your opinion on this. All right, so Urban Meyer, unlike Nick Saban, Nick Saban, when he was a college coach, before he went to the NFL, and now Nick Saban was an X's and O's guy. He was a guy who was one of the great defensive minds in college football, still is for that matter, all right? But, he'd been a coordinator, he'd been a head coach before he got to the NFL. Urban Meyer, nothing like that. Urban Meyer's never called a play in his life, never been a coordinator at any level of football in his life. What Urban Meyer does is he hires good people, whether it be Dan Mullen or, Ryan Day, whoever it is. He hires good people, and he trusts those guys, and he coaches those guys up to give him what he wants, all right? And I think it's going to be the same way when he's running the draft on Thursday. I don't think Urban Meyer fancies himself as this NFL personnel guru. I think he's got Trent Baalke there. You joked, hey, yeah, Urban Meyer will pick Trevor Lawrence and Trent Baalke will pick the rest of them. I don't think that's so far-fetched. I think that's how Urban Meyer thinks. I think he wanted to hire a GM that he trusts, and he's going to trust that GM. Now, is he going to have the final say? Yeah, but I don't think he's going to be so autocratic and so iron-fisted to say, no, I want this guy. I don't care what you say. Thoughts?
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think one of the great things about Urban and why he's been so successful is he's a great delegator. He's a guy who says, listen, I'm going to do this part of the job. I'm hiring you to do this part of the job, and I'm going to give you that trust, and I'm going to trust in you. That's why I'm hiring you. And he surrounds himself with people that he trusts. He allows them to do their job, and as long as they're successful, he doesn't mess with it. I think Nick has actually even become a little bit more like that in his 3rd career now, first college, then the NFL, now 2nd stint in college. And you've seen it with the offensive side of the football. There was a time where Nick Saban wanted 21 to 10. That was his dream scenario. And he's hired and recognized that college football has gone in this other direction. So he hires guys like Lane Kiffin, Steve Sarkisian to run the offense. And he kind of, for the most part, lets them go. But Urban's been doing this. And whether it's guys like Dan Mullen on the offensive side of the football or guys like Dan Quinn on the defensive side of the football, he's had great coordinators on both sides and allowed them to become great. And that's what he's done well. And I think at the NFL level, probably more so than even the college level, he recognizes that he's going to have to lean on people to be successful in this league. Fortunately enough for him, he's taking over a team that has the #1 pick in the draft where there is no question who you're taking number one. This is like getting your college exams and the first third of the exam is filled out with all the correct answers. Okay, you've already started with a big giant head start. Now you just got to hit on a couple of the next the next four.
Five of 65.
You've got one. Nobody's ever going to question whether or not you took the right or wrong guy with this pick because everybody would have taken Trevor Lawrence with this pick. You got to hit on two of the next four, and if you can do that, then that is going to be an A draft class for the Jacksonville Jaguars and a great step forward. Year number one.
All right, open mic thought-provoking daily poll. Austin, do you have it up?
The thought-provoking daily poll today, which you can find on Twitter at 969thegame. If my computer would... Here we go. Got it right here. Do you have confidence that NFL novice Urban Meyer can successfully pull off arguably the most important draft in Jacksonville Jaguars history? Yes, sir, or not at all?
I say yes, sir. I definitely have confidence in Urban Meyer. I think the guy's going to be a tremendous NFL coach. All right, straight ahead. What do we want to talk about next? A couple of sad stories in sports, but also if LSU's banning former football star Darius Guice from its football program, shouldn't current football coach Ed Orgeron also suffer some repercussions? I'll explain next on Open Mic.
96.9 The Game FM 8
Over in front of Bullock, fires a three. He got it straight away. Chris Paul, back-to-back buzzer beaters at the shot clock, and he gets face-to-face with Devin Booker, rejoicing as the Suns take an 8-point lead with 13 seconds to go.
Thank God the Knicks finally lost.
You know what, Mike? Relax.
Chris Paul taking down the Knickerbockers. How many they won in a row? 8, 9?
9.
All the Knicks fans like Kelly Velez getting all excited about their Knicks.
I mean, you can't be mad at it. You can't be mad at it.
It's been a while, Mike. It's been a while.
And it was a hell of a listen, Chris Paul, the last like 5 minutes turned into Michael Jordan, so can't be mad.
Chris Paul's having a hell of a year, by the way. Hell of a year.
Underappreciated. Every place he goes to, he just changes the whole organization, turns them into a winner.
Yeah, an argument could be made for that.
Mm-hmm.
So
I was trying to think of the argument, and I can't, and I don't like that I can't.
The argument against it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. I mean, he's not won an NBA title though, right?
No.
Not yet.
No.
That Sun squad is very talented, man. If they, they get it together, but.
By the way, that was a great play last night. Do you have the clip? Here's the antithesis of that play last night. Play the end of the game shot that the Timberwolves beat the Jazz on last night. DAngelo Russell. Do you have that?
The DAngelo Russell, yes.
Ricky struggling to get it in. Here's D'Lo all alone to the rim. The layup good with 4.2 seconds left. He cut back door. Nobody stayed with him. D'Lo puts the Wolves up by 105-104. How do you like that?
How do you like that? Rudy Gobert. I saw the highlight of this. Obviously, I wasn't watching the game, but Rudy Gobert. All right, so DAngelo Russell. So the Jazz are playing defense. All right, and there's a pick set, and they switch. All right, so Rudy Gobert is on DAngelo Russell, and he's on him, and then all of a sudden he just leaves him and tries to switch back to his other man, and DAngelo Russell just drives in for the game-winning layup. And Rudy Gobert afterwards was like, I don't know what I was thinking. I just screwed up. It was unbelievable to see he just leaves his man just like that at the end of the game.
Well, I appreciate his accountability, though. Hey, my bad. I messed up there. That was me.
Right? Yeah. Couple of sad stories I wanted to get to. Geno Hayes, the former Florida State, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Jacksonville Jaguars linebacker. He dies yesterday at the age of 33 years old. We talked about him a little bit a couple days ago. He had some liver issues, and he dies at 33 years old. Sad story. Also a sad story, Aaron Wilson, former Ocoee High School defensive end who was ranked number 7 in the nation at his position. This was back in 2019, all right? Big-time recruit, was going to go to Penn State. He passes away yesterday of cancer at the age of 17.
Oh, man.
17 years old. Good Lord. It is sad. There's a famous poem. You guys should go read. Have you ever read the poem An Athlete Dying Young?
I think I know of it. I don't know that I know it all the way through.
Yeah, every time an athlete like this dies in their teens, I always think about that poem. It's a great poem. Go read it if you have the chance and think about these guys. Wow. Give us a call, 407-916-8255. Don't forget your next chance at $1,000. Actually, your first chance at $1,000 coming up at 7:10 a.m. this morning. I wanted to get to this story real quick. So I know how much Adam Reardon loves Chad Ochocinco. All right, loves him some Chad Johnson / Chad Ochocinco. All right. Well, I was reading this story this morning. I guess he's been getting all sorts of grief on Twitter. All right, because over the weekend, he did like I don't even know how to do this, but he did like a screenshot of a Twitter conversation between him and his daughter, his teenage daughter. All right, this happened on either Saturday or Sunday. He shared a screenshot of the conversation in which one of his daughters, who's a teenager, wanted him to buy her a pair of Yeezy sneakers. Are those famous sneakers, Yeezy sneakers?
Yeah, those are Kanye West sneakers that what does a pair of Yeezys go for today? Like $400?
But retail, they're usually around like $150, $130. But
you
resale,
can't catch them.
you can't get them. So resale's usually like
retail
$300,
price
$400.
is currently $220.
Okay, so she wants a pair of Yeezy sneakers, and she's texting or tweeting him about going to, is Token Miami the name of a store?
Must be.
Anyway, yeah, so she wants him to get her a pair of Yeezy sneakers in Token Miami, whatever Token Miami is. To that, Chad Ochocinco responded, "You said you were getting a job. I worked at McDonald's by Edison to attain extra stuff I wanted in high school," end quote. His daughter then argued, "When I finish school, I'm getting one. How am I going to get a job and I have school and track practice to attend throughout the day?" To which Chad responded, he was having none of it. "I caught the bus to school, then went to football practice, caught the bus to McDonald's for a 6-hour shift, all while maintaining a 2.2 GPA and being a star athlete," end quote. And then he captioned the entire screenshot, "Parenting 101. Kids don't understand the sacrifices it takes." Give that man a standing ovation.
Give him a round of applause.
Give him a standing ovation. That's old school right there, baby.
For this segment, you can lump me in with the boomers, okay? Because I have the same issue with my kids. My kids, we between Trina and I, we have 4.
Baby. Preach, Adam Reardon.
I'm telling you, I mean, I've got, between the two of us, we have 4 daughters, and so they want this, they want that, they want this, I want this. And I finally, I run a video company, and I've told the 2 oldest now, listen, you're old enough that, if you're here with us on the weekends, if you want to work, I'll put you to work. I'll give you a job, but you're going to earn your money. And then when you say, hey, like there's these new sneakers I want. My oldest daughter wants $300 cleats, right? $300 cleats. I said, guess what? In 2 weeks, I'll give you the opportunity to earn $300, and then we'll see if you really want $300 cleats.
Yeah. Otherwise, you can go to Walmart and get some $21 spot belts or whatever they sell at Walmart.
They still sell McGregor's here?
Do they even still make spot belts? I don't even know.
I don't think so. I think the lowest end you can get now are like miters or something like that.
You know what? That is a great lesson from Chad Ochocinco. A great lesson, even though this guy's loaded, obviously, probably still.
But he's super frugal, by the way. And this is not just the one thing. This guy, I think he drives like a smart car. He's now I say he's frugal. I mean, the guy tips, like he's super generous.
Yeah.
But he's also frugal at the same time. If it makes any sense, he'll go to a restaurant and tip somebody. $1,000.
That's the goals that I want to have, is to be frugal with like stuff for me, but generous for other people.
Tell my kids, no, you can't have $20, but give the waitress $2,000.
Absolutely.
Well, he's one of the rare ones. He said it himself when he was playing. All the jewelry you saw him with, he was like, that was fake. I'm not going to spend my money on these type of things. I'll buy it just for the image, the fake versions, but I'm not buying real jewelry. He kept it real.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
You should get his daughter some feezies.
Yeah.
Some feezies. Daddy's ain't it.
Obviously, we all want our kids to do well and have a great life, but you want them to struggle just a little bit. All right? Struggle just a little bit. Get a taste of it. Get a taste of struggling, because adversity, again, you work your way through adversity. That makes you a little bit better and a little bit stronger person. All right, our spontaneous text question of the day was in honor of National Babe Ruth Day, and Adam came up with best deal you've ever made. business deal, home improvement, whatever. Text into 50857. Somebody just texted in, I traded patio and pool furniture my ex-wife left for an 89 Harley Softail. Give a ding to that.
Whoa.
Wow. Yeah. Bought a 1954 Ford Custom built for a doctor, V8, automatic, AC, power windows, power steering, push button radio, power seats for $50. Ding.
What? $50?
Yeah.
You thought you were on to something with a 50-cent mug.
Yeah. Really making my deal look bad.
Yeah. I thought I was on to something with my $2,500 Jaguars convertible that I ruined with trading for a junky boat.
By the Jaguars, plural? There was a couple of them, or was it owned by the team?
No, just the Jag. Yeah. Yeah, Shad Khan sold it to me.
Nice.
It was a Jaguars car. It was like painted with that ugly teal.
All right, let's pause for station identification.
WYGM Orlando, WJRR HD2 Cocoa Beach, FM 96.9 The Game, the home of Orlando City Soccer Club.
What you reading there, honey?
It's very exciting stuff, you see. It's the front page of the internet.
Here we go with the front page of the internet this morning. We start off on YouTube's trending page where people doing dumb things for views. I'm sure we're all shocked by this. From the Vlog Creations YouTube channel with 1 million views, they filled their entire car with beans. Like, they just bought cans and cans of beans, filled their car from the sunroof up.
Oh, like pork and beans?
Like canned beans?
Canned beans, like canned black beans.
So not hard beans, like the soft, the juice?
Wet, sauced beans.
W-H-E-T, wet.
Yeah, it's super wet. And then they hired a locksmith to open the car up because they wanted to bring someone else in to get their reaction. So,
so like, did the locksmith not know there was beans in there? So he opens the door and then beans kind of like ooze out.
Well, he could see through the windows. So like, he walked up and like looked in and went, "This car's full of beans." And they're like,
we got him to say you're full of beans.
So this video has 1 million views.
Mike,
obviously, it was probably a junky car that didn't even run, right?
No,
sure, it wasn't a good car.
It was his actual vehicle.
No, and who did this?
Vlog Creations.
So I don't know how many millions of subscribers they had, but that one video could net them like $50,000. The guy just buys a different car.
They've got 2.65 million subscribers.
Amazing. Beans in a car, Mike.
Beans in a car.
You're out here trying to think up something clever to write every single day about the Orlando Magic. That's a way harder job.
All I need to do is fill my car with Van Camp's pork and beans.
There you go. Also on YouTube's trending page, we get our official teaser trailer for Steven Spielberg's West Side Story.
Ooh,
cool. So that's coming out. It doesn't have an official coming out date yet, but you can expect to see that soon.
Steven Spielberg, overrated.
Overrated? Really?
I just think he's past his prime, and we're living off the name now. Now we're living off the name. I'll be interested to see West Side Story.
Yeah. Happy birthday today to Lizzo. Mike, do you know who Lizzo is?
Lizzo? I remember Rizzo in Grease.
Nope,
is any relation to Rizzo in the movie Grease?
No. Lizzo, great singer, songwriter. What's the biggest one?
New man on the Minnesota Vikings.
Yes, that one.
Oh, I've heard that. Actually, heard that song. My daughter has played me that.
Didn't she show up to like a Lakers game like wearing a pair of pants that had like no backside to it?
That is correct. That did happen.
No, she's got to be 28 then if she's doing
Things like that.
24.
She actually showed up in a car full of beans too. It's unbelievable. This lady. She's probably 25.
She's 33 years old.
Is she?
Yeah.
She's 33 and acting like that.
That's correct.
Come on
Grow
now.
up.
Come on.
Grow up.
Come on.
Good Lord.
Goodness. Yeah, here you go. Oh, wait, be careful. I don't know.
Yeah, we don't want any dirty litter.
It's clean. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Yeah, you're saying always makes me so nervous.
Don't worry.
No.
You trust the internet when it says clean?
No.
Hell no. This is the YouTube.
No.
I don't trust it, Kelly.
No. We don't
gotta
do that,
protect
Kelly.
the license.
Kelly, we've all been there before. I swear to God, it said clean.
It's clean. That's why we've got the delay. We got
but then the dump button messes me up over here. It's like a whole domino effect of dump.
Okay, last but certainly not least, did you guys hear about the Josh fight that happened over the weekend?
Yes.
Josh fight?
The Josh fight.
Nah.
So, during the pandemic, Josh Swain found every other Josh Swain on Facebook because he was bored, and he put them all in a group chat, and he put, "You're probably wondering why I gathered you all here today, because we all share the same names." Precisely on 4/24/2021 noon, meet at these coordinates, and he gave coordinates just outside of Lincoln, Nebraska. We fight. Whoever wins gets to keep the name. Everyone else has to change their name. You have a year to prepare. Good luck. And guess what? It happened. 50 Joshes showed up and 950 spectators showed up. They did battle using pool noodles. And the winner was a 4-year-old named Josh who had spent time at a children's hospital, which they then raised $12,000 for that children's hospital.
See, I was just about ready. About ready to rip this whole thing, and then you had to bring the charity arm into it, didn't you? Huh?
What?
Mike was over there. He was cocked and loaded. He was like, hold on here. Children's cancer. Never mind. Let me put this back. Okay, good idea. That was a great plan.
What's your problem with this, Mike?
I have no problem with it. I think it's a great cause.
What was it before?
Doing it for the kids.
Before I mentioned the charity thing.
Because I thought it was going to be a bunch of adults going just to fight with pool noodles.
There's a lot of male Joshes just hitting each other.
Yeah, a bunch of grown men calling in sick to work. I can't make it to work today. Why? I'm going in Lincoln, Nebraska to fight for my name.
That's right.
What?
I will say only 2 Josh Swains showed up, the original one and then one other one. Everyone else was just named Josh. So apparently Josh Swain's a bunch of cowards.
Wow.
If there's a Josh Swain out there listening.
That's like, what was it last year when people tried to storm Area 51? And nothing happened.
And nobody showed up, but we have a Josh fight and everybody shows up.
But no Joshes showed up. Just
50 Joshes showed up.
Not Josh Swain, though.
Only 2 Josh Swains.
The Area 51 thing was always like that thing you do with your buddy, like, okay, you gonna jump? I'm gonna jump. Ready? 1, 2, 3. And then you wait to see if he jumps because you weren't going.
That is the front page of the internet. I want to get to this story really quickly. So LSU, obviously struggling to recover from an ongoing sexual harassment scandal involving former coach Les Miles. So we know what happened. We talked about this story yesterday. Well, there's a new twist to the story. 7 women yesterday filed a federal class action lawsuit against LSU and its leadership, including the former university president, the former AD, as well as the athletic fundraising group, the Booster Club, essentially. Among those who were named as defendants, according to the suit, the women attended LSU at some point from 2013 to 2021 and were victims of sex-based discrimination, including rape, sexual assault, sexual harassment, and or stalking perpetrated by male LSU students and student athletes, all right? And one of those student athletes was Darius Guice, the former star running back at LSU, who left, I believe, in 2016, all right? Or actually, he perpetrated some of these alleged crimes in 2016, all right? So Darius Guice, we told you the story yesterday about how he has been banned indefinitely from the athletics program. All right, they're going to expunge his name from the record books, even though he's not there anymore. And we sort of lambasted LSU. Oh, it's easy to ban him from the program when he's no longer playing there and scoring a bunch of touchdowns for you. So here's my question for you guys. So Ed Orgeron was the coach at LSU during the Darius Guice, what would you call it? The reign of, some people might call it, I'm sure a lot of women would call it the reign of terror. All right. So Darius Guice played at LSU from, Austin, can you Google it? I think it was from 2016. I think 2016 was his first year, and then he was there in 2017, maybe 2018. All right. When Ed Orgeron was the coach there. All right. Shouldn't Ed Orgeron, I mean, obviously he knew of some of these incidents, right? He's the football coach. The football coach knows everything that goes on with his football program, especially when it relates to his star running back, all right? Shouldn't Ed Orgeron, what was it?
2015 to 2017.
Okay, so Ed Orgeron was the coach there. I think he took over as an interim coach after Les Miles got fired in either 2015 or 2016. But anyway, part of the time during the Darius Guice reign, Ed Orgeron was there. Shouldn't he face some sort of ramifications here? I mean, he covered it up just like the rest of them, did he not?
All right, so my questions would be, and again, I don't know because I'm not close to the LSU program, is during that time, when allegations were made against Darius Guice, did he ever sit in any games? Was there ever any, like, all right, we better hold him out until we do an investigation on whether or not this is true or not, see if any criminal cases are levied against him? Let's say, I don't know the answers to that. And so if I had the answers to that, then I would be fully prepared to give you the yes, they absolutely swept everything under the rug. They never once disciplined Darius Guice. They didn't hold him out of any games. They just went business as usual. Ed Orgeron turned a blind eye to this. Or did Ed Orgeron go, hey, listen, I'm going to let the school investigate this. Let's see what happens. And then Guice plays. And
two women accused him of sexual assault while he was a freshman in 2016. A third LSU student alleged in 2016 that Guice had taken a partially nude photo of her without her knowledge and showed the picture to his teammates. All right,
those are alleged. Yeah, and I would like to know what the investigation found. Did they find that these were true? Have there ever been any criminal charges pressed against him for these allegations? Or this?
So you're saying let the university handle it. That's not my job. It's not my job.
Yeah, when the university tells me the university says these guys are eligible to play football, I'm coaching them to play football. Once the university says this guy's off limits, then I got to coach up the next guy. Maybe that's going to be his defense. And for that, I say, when you're in that position, I mean, we've seen it more than once. That coaches go, "Hey, listen, Joe Paterno did it. Tom Osborne did it. I mean, they all do it. Urban Meyer did it.
Eventually, a coach has to be the disciplinarian on some of this stuff, especially stuff like this. You don't want to.
They don't. Those guys don't want to be the disciplinarian. They want to be the football coaches. They'll listen. Yeah. They do not. The idea is the athletic director would be the disciplinarian, but at LSU they overruled that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the question you asked, Darius Guice was never suspended. He played 3 seasons. He only missed 1 game due to injury.
Okay.
There you have it. Yeah. Wasn't even suspended.
Injury, though. Injury. Yeah. Could be Percy Harvin injuries.
Yeah. All right around the corner, it's the sound of Kelly has compiled the best sound of the day, and we will react to that next on Open Mic. So last night, new UCF coach Gus Malzahn addressed the Orlando Touchdown Club. The Bulldog was there. Gus Malzahn is good in front of a crowd, and they had a huge crowd there at the tap room at Dub's Dread to see Gus Malzahn. I'll tell you about some of the things he said last night.
Did you ask him if he got vaccinated?
I did not ask him that question last night. No, I did not bring that up.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Luke, I'm thinking Luke was there last night. Do we have Luke on line one?
Hey, Bianchi, how are you?
Good, Luke.
I was there last night, and you made a comment when you were speaking in reference to Mackenzie Milton, and you said that if he got on the field against Notre Dame, that would be a greater story than Rudy. And I'm thinking, wow, I know that Mackenzie hurt his leg and he could have lost rehab, but I mean, Rudy was fighting for 4 or 5 years, try to get on the team every day, doing everything that he could do. So I'm thinking that Rudy is a bigger story than Mackenzie.
Well, first of all, I think I said imagine if he were to play against Notre Dame and actually win the game. All right. But even if he doesn't win the game, Rudy played like one play at the end of a game as sort of a designated, hey, let's give this guy one play at the end of a game. And Rudy wasn't an actual real football player. He was like a manager, and a lot of that stuff in Rudy never actually even happened in the movie. The stuff in the movie never happened.
Rudy's accomplishment is a lot like watching the NCAA tournament and Duke is up by 40 against Appalachian State, and there's like 15 seconds left, and the manager comes in there and drains a three, and everybody goes nuts. You know what I mean? They put the kid in who's never played before. That's Rudy.
Yeah, and the players didn't carry Rudy off the field on their shoulders. They didn't take their jerseys off, and the fans weren't chanting Rudy's name so he would get in the game. None of that happened. That was all a movie.
All those people were like, "Who's that guy number 45? I don't even know who that is. Not even in our program."
Anyway, again, go ahead. Go ahead.
But I was going to say, it was a great crowd last night, and you're right, Gus is a great speaker, and I am so excited with what's going to happen, what could happen in the next 3, 4, 5, 10 years, and hopefully he does stay, and hopefully he does say what he wants to do, because we've been sold this for the last couple coaches saying, oh yeah, this is where I want to be, and 3 years later they're gone. So I'm hoping he's true to his words.
Yeah, good call, Luke. Appreciate it. Yeah, Gus Malzahn, and that's what I wanted to talk about. He reiterated a couple of times last night. You know what he said at his introductory news conference? I used to always tell my staff at Auburn, if you could get a coach at UCF who would stay there and build it, that it would be an unbelievable job. And he goes, I'm that coach. I'm not going anywhere. I'm 55 years old. I plan on being at UCF for, the next decade. All right. And he reiterated that a couple of times. And here's my question for you guys. All right. First of all, do you think say Gus Malzahn, pulls the Scott Frost and goes unbeaten one year or back-to-back unbeaten years like Josh Heupel and Scott Frost did in back-to-back years. And I'm not going to say like Ohio State or Notre Dame offers him a job, but say Ole Miss or say, give me a North Carolina or North Carolina State. Say one of these mid-level Power 5 programs offer him a job. Do you think he would go? Because I don't. I think the guys again, if he gets a chance to coach at Notre Dame, maybe he would go. But I don't think Notre Dame's hiring Gus Malzahn. All right. No matter what he does at UCF. If North Carolina comes calling for Gus Malzahn, I don't think he goes. I don't think he goes for this reason. We're talking about playoff expansion coming up. He has a better chance of winning a national title at UCF than he does at Ole Miss. Does he not?
Yeah, because at Ole Miss, you're going to have to go through the SEC West and then whoever represents the East to get there. Here's the one team. The answer for me will be yes. At 55, there's going to be limited teams that are going to be after him, regardless of what he does at UCF. And I don't think very many of them would be a better job in his eyes than UCF. Here's the one caveat. Here's the one team I will throw in there.
Arkansas?
Yeah. Arkansas. That's where he played. He was the he's a legendary high school football coach there. Got his first break in college football coaching, I believe, as an offensive coordinator at Arkansas. Then coached at where was he at? Was he at Tulsa? Or excuse me. Then
he was a coordinator at Tulsa.
Coordinator at Tulsa, got the head coaching job at Arkansas State, then got the opportunity at Auburn, rode that out as long as he could, had great success there. Now he's at UCF. The only team that I'll throw in that mix, obviously we're not talking about Notre Dame, Ohio State, Michigan, those types of jobs. I think they will always be looking for the young next big thing. Malzahn's time as that has passed. But as far as those other schools that may be looking for a guy who has a great resume, a guy who's done it at all different levels, I think the one job that he would consider leaving for would be Arkansas. And I don't know that to be true. I'm just playing the odds of there's probably a part of him that loves being from Arkansas. Obviously, a big part of his career was spent in Arkansas as a player. That guy coming home has some kind of ring to it as well. But
although, ask Scott Frost how good it is going home. All right,
maybe that's what you should do. Just get Gus to call Scott and say, "Hey, what's it like going home?"
I guarantee you, privately, take the money out of it. Take the money out of it. Privately, if Scott Frost were honest, he wishes he'd never left UCF. I'll guarantee it. I will guarantee it.
Yeah, because Scott Frost is definitely the kind of guy that is all about comfort and is all about, not having any issues to work through.
He had to take that job. His dad wanted him to take it. Coming home, he had to take. He took that job even though he didn't want to.
I think he wanted to take that job. I don't think he just realized how big a job that was going to have to be to get it back to where they were way back when.
And also, he already went undefeated at UCF. What else was he going to do here?
Yeah, do it back to back, which he could have done.
He could have done.
All right, straight ahead, we have the sound off coming your way on Open Mic. Open Mic, the best radio show in town. Isn't that right? That is the sound off music. What does that mean? It means Kelly Velez has compiled the best sound of the day, and we are going to react to it right now.
Sound off. For me, I take pride, like I say, every single night, leaving it all on the floor. I honestly believe there is no player like myself. If people want to take it for granted, sorry for them. But I'm pretty sure if everybody could do it, they'll do it. And I honestly make sure that I impact the game in many ways every night, defending, rebounding, passing, assisting, whatever it is that my team needs for me to be able to win.
It's Russell Westbrook talking the other night about people just not putting respect on his name. Mike, what's going on? Why don't people respect him?
Well, people respect Russell Westbrook, but again, it's the old Dan Marino syndrome, all right? Dan Marino, one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, maybe the best pure passer of all time, but he gets downgraded because he never won a Super Bowl. Russell Wilson gets downgraded, sort of like Chris Paul, for never having won a title. And again, obviously it takes more than one superstar to win a title, but Russell Westbrook was on teams with more than one superstar and hasn't won a title. So again, statistically, he might be the greatest point guard of all time with, averaging triple doubles and all of that. Athletically, he might be one of the great point guards of all time. Is there anybody in their prime who could get to the hole like Russell Westbrook? I mean, the guy was faster or as fast as Allen Iverson. But Allen Iverson won a championship. Russell Westbrook never has.
He's been averaging 26, 10, and 10 over the last 5 seasons.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It's unbelievable. Yeah, statistically, he's great. But Dan Marino, go look at his statistics. Nobody says Dan Marino is probably one of the top 3 quarterbacks of all time.
Sound off.
Anybody that knows me, man, I've been wearing, my foxtail for a long time. Kind of started back in college with my mentor, actually. It was a famous movie called Breaking. It was like a dance movie that's called Breaking that came out in the 80s. And there was this guy on there named Ozone, and he had a bunch of foxtail on his hat, on his pants, on his shirt. I remember asking him, what is that? And so I looked up on eBay and saw it was a foxtail, man. I've been wearing it ever since.
It's the Chiefs' latest left tackle, Orlando Brown Jr., talking about why he's wearing his foxtail to practice, Adam. He's been doing it for quite some time. I love it.
I'm so mad right now because he made the Ozone reference. I can't remember Turbo, Ozone, and Special K was the white girl that learned how to do breakdancing. And then there was Breaking 2, Electric Boogaloo, by the way.
Nice.
That's in my wheelhouse. What was the question about Orlando Brown? I was so distracted by breaking.
It's just the fact that he got it. Oh, talk, Mike. Go get him.
Okay, for Boomer here. All right, what's a foxtail?
Foxtail is a foxtail. It's like the thing you clip on, right?
He literally has a clip-on foxtail on like his belt, Mike.
Yeah.
And he's been doing this since like college or high school.
Oh, so it's not a hairstyle.
No, you're thinking of a rat tail, which is something I had. And then a lot like Van Gogh, I had a crush on a girl in high school, and I cut it off, and I put it in a little thing and gave it to her.
Like Van Gogh?
Yeah. He cut off his ear, but I mean, I wasn't going that far.
So he's got a real foxtail.
Yeah.
On his belt. Wow. Good for him. You know what I used to You know what I used to wear back in elementary school, to Melrose Elementary School back in the day?
Here we go.
What?
I used to wear a coonskin cap.
Did you?
I got one.
Was that Davy Crockett? Is that who does that?
Daniel Boone, Davy Crockett, one of those guys.
The kid from a Christmas Story. That's like that sort of hat.
Yes.
Yeah. I got one for Christmas one year, and I wore my coonskin cap to school. Yeah. Only at Melrose Elementary could that happen,
bro.
Sound off. Paul still on the dribble, crosses over in front of Bullock, fires a 3. He got it straight away. Chris Paul, back-to-back buzzer beaters at the shot clock, and he gets face-to-face with Devin Booker, rejoicing as the Suns take an 8-point lead with 13 seconds to go.
Chris Paul transforming into Michael Jordan the last 5 minutes of the Knicks game last night, ending the 9-game win streak. Mike, I don't like it, but I had to play it.
Yeah, you have to play it. But again, here's my question about the Knicks. And I had this discussion with Kravitz yesterday. This has nothing to do with the Knicks' 9-game winning streak, all right? It has to do with how patient we are with draft picks. And, like Kravitz yesterday said, hey, the Jets will know what they have halfway through Zach Wilson's first year at quarterback. I'm like, halfway through his first year? That's what we're giving guys now? And I point to one Julius Artisimus Randle of the New York Knickerbockers, all right? Julius Randle, he was always okay. He was an okay player, a decent player, sort of a, one-dimensional type of power forward type player. And now he's with the Knicks. What year is he in? 6th, 7th year?
Around there.
Julius Randle? Has he become a superstar?
He is now.
He's become an all-star.
He has that Mamba mentality, man. That Mamba mentality. After being under Kobe, definitely changes the way you look at things, right?
I don't know, but anyway, this guy has developed into a near superstar and a borderline MVP candidate this year. So sometimes it takes a while for guys to develop into stars. That's all I'm saying.
Sound off. Well, that's one of those things that when you're doing things the right way in an organization, you have to listen if people call. So on any player, and especially we are in a difficult cap situation. That's just a circumstance, and it's not a surprise for us. We knew the circumstance we're in. Our administration has done an excellent job up to this point, getting us in position to be able to manage the cap, and yet we still have more work to do. So when teams call about any players, then we have to listen and we have to weigh it and we have to determine what's best for the organization, and we have to handle everything with class. Obviously, that particular player, we hold him in high regard, and he's special, what he's done and what he continues to do here. But we have to consider any players if it's right for the team, because we have to do what's best for this organization.
Falcons GM Terry Fontenot just absolutely tap dancing until the end about the whole Julio Jones trade situation, Adam.
Yeah, well, he's trying to walk that thin line because he dropped nuggets in there. We get a cap situation, all right? Yep. We can't. Essentially, we have to make moves here. So we're listening to moves that need to be made. And yes, we'd hate to lose a player of this stature and what he's done for us and what we still think he can do. But at the end of the day, it seems like he's going to be gone from Atlanta, and he's just handling these questions the best he can.
Where's the Dolphins' second pick? They have 2 picks in the first round. If I'm the Dolphins, hell, I'd go after Julio Jones. This guy's still one of the best receivers in the league when he's healthy. How old's Julio Jones? 32 years old. Dolphins pick what? 18. Is that where their second first round? Yeah, they pick 8. Hell, I'd give up.
I think they have 6 and 18, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't take him. I wouldn't
trade the 6th pick for him, but I'll listen. The 18th for him.
Would you trade the 18th pick for Julio Jones?
Ooh.
I would.
Oh,
with 2 of them boys down there.
I think it's a great trade, like a really even trade, because you have to really think hard about it. You don't go one way or the other. Yes, of course you would, or you don't go, oh hell no. You think about it and you go, man, that 18th pick in the draft. I mean, it's such a receiver-heavy class, and but Julio Jones is a proven NFL commodity. But with that says, hey, listen, he's got the NFL wear and tear on his body. Right. So if you think maybe Jalen Waddle is going to fall to you, or one of these other receivers, do you go with a guy that doesn't have how many years in the NFL? Was he 4, 5, 6 years in the league?
32 years old, so that's longer
maybe
than
10
that.
years. What, 10 years?
No way.
If he's 32,
Google Magic, boys. Let's do this right now.
If he's 32, normally guys leave college at 22, and I want to say he probably left a year early. Yeah,
I don't have it in front of me. Yeah.
If he's
changed my mind, he's too old now.
Yeah, he's too old. Yeah,
10 years. 2011.
10 years. No. Nope. Not trying to. Not. Never mind. That's
He's
an
been
easy
in the
question.
league He has been injured a lot too.
Nope.
Over the
Never
last
mind.
couple of years.
Never mind. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm sure for Dolphin fans that are texting us right now, going, hell no, he's 10 years in the league. He's been hurt a bunch. What are you crazy? We're gonna keep our first round. We're gonna get one of these young guys.
What do you think we are? The Orlando Magic?
Just talked them off the ledge right there. That's the sound off for today, folks.
All right around the corner, Adam Shadoff, Fox 35 sports anchor. He's going to join us to answer the question about the NFL draft. If you're a Jaguars fan, should you trust NFL novice Urban Meyer to orchestrate the most important draft in Jaguars history. That's next on Open Mic.
96.9 The Game, FM, HD, online at 969thegame.com, on your phone with the iHeartRadio app, and on hundreds of devices like Alexa.
put the pedal to the floor. It's loud and live and local. Oh, time for open mic.
Welcome back to Open Mic. I'm Mike Bianchi, the Bulldog sports columnist of the Orlando Sentinel, joined as always by Adam Reardon, the deceptive intellect, Austin Pastolka, the Sultan of Sound, Kelly Velez, the Prince of Production. Together we are Open Mic, the quartet of sports talk radio excellence in the megalopolis we know as Central Florida. Next chance to win $1,000, that's coming up at 8:10 a.m. this morning. It's the game day payday. Just listen for the keyword. We do it 3 times during our show, starting at 7:10 a.m. every morning, and then 8:10 a.m., 9:10 a.m., and then on throughout the day on the 10s. That is compliments and presented by International Diamond Center, and we certainly do appreciate what they do for us. Orlando Magic GM John Hammond will join us at 8:15 this morning. Adam Shadoff, Fox 35 sports anchor, he's on deck. He will join us shortly to do a little shout out with Shadoff. We do that every week with Adam Shadoff. All right, so I'm going to ask John Hammond this as it relates to the NBA. We were talking about this during the sound off. So I was on with Kravitz yesterday, and before I came on, and you know Kravitz, he is bonkers over the NFL draft. He was doing his mock draft yesterday, going through every pick of the draft. All right, so they were talking about the Jets and Zach Wilson. All right. And he said the Jets will know what they have with Zach Wilson about halfway through the season, half a season, first season. And I got to thinking, is that the litmus test now? Is that what we judge quarterbacks now? They get half a season? I remember last year, with Tua, it was like, he was pretty pedestrian his first season last year. And people were already saying, is he a bust? Do the Dolphins need to draft another quarterback this season? When did this happen? When did this impatience happen with not just quarterbacks, but draft picks in general? I was just talking about Julius Randle of the Knicks and how he's developed into a star in his 7th season with the Knicks. We talk about Mo Bamba like, oh, this guy's already a bust. You already know what you have with Mo Bamba. Do we? Do we really know? Because aren't there guys who blossom late? And I was trying to tell Kravitz yesterday, what about some of the great quarterbacks of the past? The John Elways, the Brett Favres, these guys, they didn't develop until, you look at their first 3 or 4 seasons in the league, and they were pretty pedestrian, more interceptions than touchdowns. People, I don't ever remember anybody saying, hey, let's give up on John Elway, let alone after half a season. Nobody was saying that after 3 seasons with John Elway.
Think about Peyton Manning's numbers his first couple of years with Indianapolis. Could you imagine something going, man, we should have taken Ryan Leaf. Well, we really blew that one, didn't we?
Yeah, but there's so many young quarterbacks now that do work out immediately. Justin Herbert, Kyler Murray, Patrick Mahomes. All of these guys are starting NFL quarterbacks and starting at a very high level, and they're in years 1, 2. Patrick Mahomes is in year 4, but when he was year 1 and 2, 2 and 3.
Year 2. He did.
Sorry, year 2. But even then, these guys are already ready. Joe Burrow, before he was injured, he was at a very high level. So at this point, there are guys coming out of the draft who are NFL ready. And if you're not, then you're going to be left behind.
I'm not saying that there aren't guys that come. There's always been guys who have in the past. I'm just saying there are other guys that take a while. And if you're going to draft a guy, for instance, even though Blake Bortles turned into a bust with the Jaguars, he was taken number 3 overall. At least as bad as the Jaguars are, at least they saw what they had in Blake Bortles. Now, if he'd have gone to another organization. Maybe if he'd have gone to the Chiefs and sat behind Alex Smith for a year, maybe he turns into a star. So situations also dictate. You know, if Patrick Mahomes is drafted by the Jaguars, is he the Patrick Mahomes that we know him as today? Probably not. Right?
Maybe the greatest example of that's David Carr. Remember when David Carr was drafted and he was behind that terrible offensive line and he just got obliterated for the first 2 to 3 seasons, and then physically he couldn't get any better than he was at that point because he was so beat up and whatnot. I agree with you, Mike, that we got to leave a little room for development, right? To say, hey, we can't just slam the door shut on a guy's career after 2 to 3 years. And I mean, Brandon, what he's suggesting is, by half a season, we'll know what we have. That's not necessarily true. Sam Darnold didn't work out in New York. I mean, does he not have a chance to be good in a new place?
However, what I will agree with Brandon on is that in half a season, we will know what we have in this guy in this situation. Does that mean in another situation he'll be better? Maybe, but we'll know that in this situation, this is as good as he's going to get.
Again, go back and look at Peyton Manning's first season, and were there people
that was 20 years ago?
But
okay, I'll give you a more recent example. Daniel Jones of the New York Giants. All right,
he's in year
his first few games. Okay, but his first few games is he in year 2 or year 3? Anyway, his first few games with the Giants, everybody was like, oh, this guy's going to be great. Then he leveled out, all right? And now people are saying, is he the guy? Is he the right guy for the job? So halfway through his first season, everybody was saying, oh, this guy's going to be great. Now people aren't convinced. So I totally disagree. I don't think you know what you have halfway through your first season. Sometimes you think you might have something and you don't as well. Right?
Yeah, no, I don't think it's a question.
Yeah, you're right. But I don't like that you turned it on me. So there.
I'm just saying. I just think we are way.
The one thing that I will say about that situation in and of itself is if it starts with something very good, then that is what it can be eventually. Just because it's a high and it goes down to low, I would much rather do that than the Tua situation, which is, all right, we're looking pretty low. We had a moment, maybe something. I would much rather have Daniel Jones, that situation.
Okay. Again, you don't know what you have after half a season, even one season. Maybe you don't even know after 2 seasons. Let's look at Carson Wentz. Oh, this guy's great. Let's sign him to a huge contract. Let's get rid of Nick Foles. And we've got Carson Wentz. Where's Carson Wentz now? Where's he? Down the tubes, all right? Yeah, they traded him. So, anyway. You never know. You've got to be at least somewhat patient, even if you're drafting quarterbacks in the first round. Let's pause for station identification.
WYGM Orlando, WJRR HD2 Cocoa Beach, FM 96.9 The Game, the home of Orlando City Soccer Club.
Quiet on the set. Can we please have quiet on the set?
It's TV time on Open Mic.
Boy. That escalated quickly.
Let's hear from Fox 35's own Adam Shadoff.
You can catch Adam Shadoff on the Fox 35 Sports Zone every weeknight around 11:30 p.m. He takes a deep dive into all the sports happenings around Central Florida, across the state, and around this great nation that we live in. Adam, how are you this morning?
I'm okay. How are you, Bianchi?
Doing good, Adam. Getting ready for the NFL draft this weekend. Excited about that. I was at Gus Malzahn's address at the Orlando Touchdown Club last night. He was great, by the way. He was great in front of a crowd.
I had been told by multiple people, don't expect much. When he first got hired, he's not great with the media. He's not interested in it. Don't expect much. And it's been the opposite for me personally. I've had a one-on-one with him. I've, listened to him a lot, and I don't know if it's maybe less pressure here at UCF or he's just excited to be at a different kind of a place. But
I've got a theory. I've also got a theory, Adam. You know how like when you're playing baseball and you're in the on deck circle and you put the the weighted donut on your bat, all right, and warm up, and then when you take that donut off, all right, man, this bat, I can swing, I can hit this ball now. Josh Heupel was the donut, all right? He was the donut. All right, and then Josh Heupel's gone, and you see Gus Malzahn, you go, man, this guy's great. He's great with the media.
You're right about that being a low bar, Josh Heupel, that's for sure. That's for sure.
Oh, wow. Anyway, let's do a little shout out with Shat Off, shall we?
Shout it out from the rooftop. Woo-hoo! It's time for the Shat Off Shout Out.
Love the shout out with Shat Off.
Here we go with the Shout Off Shout Out this week, brought to you by Frank Gay Services. If you need an electrician or a plumber and you need them right now, go to frankgayservices.com. They will hook you up with all of your electrician and plumber needs. That's frankgayservices.com. We start off with the open mic thought-provoking daily poll, which is this. Do you have confidence that NFL novice Urban Meyer can successfully pull off arguably the most important draft in Jacksonville Jaguars history? Yes, sir, or not at all? Mike.
I think Urban Meyer, as Adam said earlier, is a great delegator of talent. Urban Meyer's never been a coordinator at any level of football. He's never called a play in his life. He hires great people and he lets them do their job, or he coaches them to do their job. Urban Meyer's a smart man, but he knows his limitations. He knows he's not an NFL talent evaluator. That's why he hired Trent Baalke as his GM. I think Urban Meyer, unlike Nick Saban, when Nick Saban was coaching the Dolphins and he thought he knew everything, Urban Meyer knows he doesn't know everything, and that's a smart man. I think Urban Meyer will orchestrate this draft perfectly because he knows his limitations.
Yeah, I mean, Urban Meyer may and likely does have the final say. I know that is the situation for a lot of NFL head coaches, but the draft belongs to the general manager and the scouts and some of the other coaches and those kind of guys. And Trent Baalke has done it once before with the 49ers. So, Urban Meyer will definitely have his say, and I feel like he knows what he's looking for, and he knows what a good player is for sure. He knows that from recruiting in college. So, yes, I think he'll do a good job.
With 65% of the vote, yes, sir, wins this one. Supplemental poll number 1, which quarterback will the 49ers take with the number 3 overall pick in the upcoming NFL draft? Is it Mac Jones from Alabama, Justin Fields of Ohio State, Trey Lance of North Dakota State, or they won't take a quarterback? Adam?
I don't know. I don't know the answer here, but I know that was a bizarre and kind of morbid thing for their GM to say the other day. Did you guys hear this? Where he said, I don't even know who's going to be alive on our roster. Jimmy Garoppolo, if he's going to be alive. It's such a strange thing to say. I don't know who they're going to pick. Who cares? 49ers.
Who cares is the right answer.
Yeah. I'm going to go with Mac Jones. I mean, I think people look at Mac Jones and say, and the only reason that people think he's not that good is because he played at Alabama. Because he, obviously he put up huge numbers. He had great receivers to throw to. All right, but because he played at Alabama, people say, oh, well, anybody can be the quarterback at Alabama. Well, he put up record-breaking type numbers at Alabama. He knows how to play in a pro-style offense. Obviously, Nick Saban has coached in the NFL. So I think they're going to take Mac Jones, and I think Kyle Shanahan wants a guy who knows where to throw the football. And Mac Jones knows where to throw the football. I'm going with Mac Jones.
With 37% of the vote, Mac Jones of Alabama wins this one. Justin Fields came in second with 35% of the vote. Supplemental poll number 2. In the wake of Coach Gus Malzahn telling the Orlando Touchdown Club last night that he wants UCF to be his last coaching stop, do you think he would stay at UCF in the future even if he got an offer from mid-level Power 5 programs like Kentucky or North Carolina? He would stay at UCF, or he's out of here? Adam?
No, I think he would stay. I'm sure that if a big-time, power conference job came open and wanted him and applied him with enormous money, that he would go. But for a job that's really North Carolina or something like that, Kentucky, it's really not a lot better than UCF. Because it's for many reasons. But yeah, I think he would stay. I get the feeling he does like it here so far. He wants to be here genuinely, and we'll see what happens after he's been here a couple of seasons and how they do.
Come on. Kentucky, North Carolina State, these aren't better jobs than UCF. In fact, the College Football Playoff Committee is talking about expanding the playoffs within 2 or 3 years. If it goes to 8 teams, Gus Malzahn has a better chance of winning a national title at UCF than he does Kentucky or Ole Miss or one of these mid-level Power 5 teams. All you have to do is go to a previous UCF coach and ask him how it's working out at a bottom-feeding Power 5 program like Nebraska. Ask Scott Frost how it is at a bottom-feeding program like Nebraska. Austin, ask him. Bottom feeding.
Stay calm. Wow. Just stay calm. Don't need to blow up. It's fine. It's fine.
Cellar dwelling program like Nebraska.
54% of the vote says he would stay at UCF. Just yell through the pain. Yell through the anger. Open mic supplemental poll number 3. If LSU is banning former football star Darius Guice from its football program for alleged crimes against women, should current football coach Ed Orgeron also face repercussions for Guice's behavior? 1,000% yes or nope? Mike.
First of all, there's no 1,000%. There's only 100%, but 1,000% yes. I'm going with that option for this reason. Ed Orgeron was the coach at LSU when Darius Guice was getting into trouble. He could have done something, and Adam said earlier, well, isn't that up to the athletic administration to dole out the penalties against football players? Well, yeah, it is up to the athletic administration. It's also up to the football coach. He's in the athletic administration. He is the ultimate. He has the ultimate determination on whether players play or not. He can teach guys lessons. He can mold young men. And Ed Orgeron knew about this, or at least he should have known about it, and he did nothing about it with Darius Guice. Didn't even miss a game for some of these transgressions. Yes, he should have repercussions.
Well, first of all, Bianchi, I want you to know that I give 110% every day on the Fox 35 Sports Zone.
Hell yeah.
That's a possibility. Yep, ding on that one. And, it's so hard because they treat these big-time coaches that have won national championships or done really well for the university differently. We all know that. I mean, Penn State, look at that whole situation. Yeah, I mean, if you're going to punish the person, the kid who was involved, and you got to punish the coach who also knew about the activity and did nothing. I'm with you on that. The concept of that, it makes a lot of sense.
With 70% of the vote, yes wins this one. Supplemental poll number 4. Do you admire or admonish Chad Ochocinco for telling his teenage daughter to get a job if she wants to buy a new pair of expensive Yeezy sneakers? Admire or admonish? Adam?
No, I admire for sure. I mean, growing up in New Mexico, where I was growing up, I think you have to be like 15 to have a job, and ever since I was 15, I had a job every summer during every long break over college. That molds you. It definitely molds you. If you just get thrown money and things at you for doing nothing, it doesn't build any character. I'm with them. It doesn't matter how much money you have. You got to learn how to work.
First of all, you don't need Yeezy sneakers, all right? You go to Walmart, you get yourself some spot builts, all right? That's what you buy. You buy some $20 spot builts at Walmart. That's all you need. You don't need Yeezys. Yeah. Okay? There you go. And
you go down to the local cobbler and...
Yeah.
Your local
Adam
cobbler?
Back in my day, see?
We had to make our own shoes. I made my own shoes out of tan hide.
Adam, what cleats did you wear when you were playing, or maybe as you still play? I mean, did you have a particular brand that you had to have?
No.
Oh.
I had Spot Built from Walmart, all right? And here,
Unbelievable.
and Adam is absolutely correct. You want your kids to struggle a little bit. You want them to find out what it's like to have to work for something. You don't want your kids to have a silver spoon in their mouth where they expect everything. You want sometimes you want them just to suffer, just a little bit. Suffer, kid.
98% of the vote admire what Chad Ochocinco did.
Yeah.
I think the 2% might be his daughter voting on this. And finally, the open mic Would You Rather poll. Would you rather dress like people from 100 years ago or a person from the future? Mike, we'll start with you.
Well, since I'm halfway to people from 100 years ago, I dress like people from 30 or 40 years ago. So I'm going to go 100 years ago because that's not that far removed from the wardrobe I have on right now. In fact, if you look at us on the open mic live stream on YouTube, you will see that I have on my 1992 SEC Championship football T-shirt. So 92 is pretty long ago.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable. Well, of course, Bianchi would dress like that. I will say this: if you're dressing like 1921, it's probably going to be a little bit closer to what we're wearing now as far as like suits and stuff. But it's like heavy wool and itchy and really hot. But if you go like future outfits, right? It's from 2121. Mm-hmm. It's going to be like a self-cooling suit material and stuff. You're going to look very out of place, but you're going to feel a lot more comfortable.
Mark Twain used to wear cool seersucker suits back in the day, okay? So seersucker, that's what I would be wearing.
There it is. It's back. Oh.
Nothing like a nice seersucker suit.
I remember back in my day, we used to order all of our clothes from the Sears magazine.
The Sears catalog. The man on page 602, modeling the briefs.
Yeah. Mike acts like he used to talk like, see? I'm on Spark Talk Radio, see?
See? 59% of the vote says they dress like people in the future.
Yes.
Adam Shadoff, I want you to go look up the man on page 602 in the Sears catalog. Google it, and you will be shocked. You'll be shocked.
Is it something dirty, Bianchi? I don't know if I want
Yes, there was back in the day, there was the underwear model on page 602 of the Sears catalog.
He was
modeling. Yeah, he was modeling his underwear, and right below the leg of the underwear, something was popping out. All right.
I don't want to
and they even wrote a country song about it. I want to be married to the man on page 602. Yeah, there you have it. Anyway.
What a strange life you lead, Bianchi.
Adam Shadoff, we will catch you on the Fox 35 Sports Zone. Thank you, my friend.
See ya.
All right. Orlando Magic GM John Hammond will join us next. We will ask him about patience in watching players develop. That's next on Open Mic.
Now, here's your chance to win $1,000.
him to get, or he'll finish over the top like when you don't expect it. He's just a sneaky athlete. But more than that, Chuma has a really good feel for the game, a really smart player on the offensive end and a really smart player on the defensive end. And really right now, Chuma's out there probably forcing some things for us, and it's a good opportunity for him to do that, probably forcing some things for us because, being down the players that we are, it's giving him an opportunity to expand his game offensively. Where probably once he becomes who he really is, he's just a really great facilitator. And he'll do some other things, but just his great feel for the game on both ends is a real key to who he is.
Magic GM John Hammond right here on Open Mic. One player Magic fans are very interested in his development, Mo Bamba, since he's been getting more playing time since the trade deadline. What are you seeing from him?
He's played better. And, you know that he's capable. So now he's getting consistent minutes on a nightly basis, and he's showing that he is capable of playing better and playing more consistently. Mo's still in that same position. We all know it's just one of those long, lanky, young guys. He's got to continue to get stronger, and you can see it in a night like last night's game. Just the massive size of a guy like Drummond is just so huge, probably the biggest player in the NBA right now. That's a whole nother level. But even beyond a game like last night, other games, as he continues to get stronger, he's going to be able to be a more effective player. He's just so highly skilled, a guy that can do, we always say this, but a guy that can do what he can do, a 7-footer that can step out in the three-point line and shoot it with that ease and that grace that he can do it, and rebound effectively because of the great length that he has. There's a spot for a guy like that in the NBA, no question whatsoever.
Hey, John, last one. Coach Clifford announced the other day he's got COVID. How is he doing, and when do you think he'll be back?
Timetable is yet to be determined. Hopefully not sooner rather than later, but it's going to be probably at least a few more games. And, the great thing about this, Mike, is that he's asymptomatic. So he's feeling absolutely great. And, I'm not trying to get on the field of science. That sure is not my level. I'm trying to be more of a basketball guy. But I will say it sounds like to me, the fact that he is vaccinated is a big part of this, that he is symptom-free. And, I think that we kind of probably have that hope of saying, if I am vaccinated, and maybe that the fact that I can, the worry is less for a guy like that. I'm thinking, man, if that were me and they said, hey, you have COVID, you'd get really concerned, but the fact he's vaccinated probably helps him think like, look, I'm at least protected from this. And so far, he definitely is and feels absolutely great.
John Hammond, we always appreciate you joining us. Thank you so much for giving us the magic word this morning. We will talk to you later, my friend.
Mike, appreciate you. Thank you so much.
That is John Hammond, General Manager